In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 richest women in the world 2023. Before starting, please do like this video and subscribe to The Luxury Lord for future updates. Who will be the world's richest woman in 2022? Well, there are 239 women in total on Forbes' list of the world's billionaires this year. They come from diverse countries in a variety of industries, including mining, real estate, banking, pharmaceuticals, and others. However, let's find out who of these many successful women made it to the top 10, the wealthiest among the list of heiresses and self-made magnates, and what specifically made them deserving of the coveted billionaire name. The lack of diversity on the list of richest women in the world is another very significant factor. There is only one Asian person on the list. The remaining individuals are all white and from the West. In a globalized economy, it puts a damper on discussions about wealth distribution. Number 10, Iris Fontbona, Chile, $14.5 billion. The majority of Iris Fontbona's wealth comes from Antofagasta, the copper mining company she inherited from her late husband, Andronico Lusic, who also founded what has grown to be one of the largest copper mining businesses in the world. She is the matriarch of Chile's richest family and the queen of the country's mining industry. Iris is in charge of a number of significant enterprises that are part of the Lusic Group, including a brewery, a shipping company, and banking, in addition to the mining sector. Number 9, Gina Rinehart, Australia, $15.5 billion. Another mining tycoon is Gina Rinehart. Her primary line of work is the iron ore mining company that her father, Lang Hancock, founded in the beginning. Gina, on the other hand, neither has the typical heiress tale nor wants to be identified as one. She's not one because she did not inherit her father's fortune, but rather his difficulties. Gina's firm was on the verge of failure when her father passed away in 1992, but she was able to effectively prevent that outcome. Gina is a self-made billionaire who made the best of the awful financial situation she was forced to cope with. According to her, and those who are familiar with her and her tale, Gina was named the richest woman in the world 2012, 20 years after taking over Hancock Prospecting. But she must settle for 9th place this year. She continues to grow her business and tour the globe in her $80 million private plane. And she has no intention of quitting anytime soon. Number 8, Charlene de Carvalho Heineken, the Netherlands, $15.8 billion. After Freddie Heineken, the sole heir to the Heineken fortune, passed away in 2002, she received a 25% ownership part in Heineken International, the second largest brewing firm in the world. Despite being the only child, Charlene was not involved in her father's business. She had only ever owned one share, which was worth $32. She made the decision to live a quiet life by studying law and residing in London with her husband and kids rather than taking on the responsibilities of the family business. Within a week of her family's passing, Charlene, under pressure from her husband, decided to take over a quarter of Heineken's international shares. She exchanged her quiet life in London for the demanding life of a businesswoman, traveling to different parts of the world to learn about the empire her father had built in order to prove herself a worthy successor. She is currently the richest businesswoman in the Netherlands and has held that position for years as executive director of Heineken International. Number 7, Abigail Johnson, United States, $16.9 billion. Abigail Johnson, who was born in Boston, Massachusetts, defied convention when she took over as a chairperson of Fidelity Investments, one of the top 3 financial services firms in the country, and became the most influential woman in finance. Nevertheless, inheriting a fortune with trillions of dollars in assets is not easy, especially for Abby, who had to break into a traditionally male-dominated field and establish herself, which she did. In addition to demonstrating that a woman can succeed in a male-dominated industry, Abby utilizes her success to encourage more women to enter the finance and investment management fields and to make her workplace a welcome environment for those seeking a rewarding career in the sector. Number 6, Suzanne Clatton, Germany, $19.6 billion. The 56-year-old mother of 3 German-born businesswoman currently owns more than 19% of BMW, the largest manufacturer of luxury vehicles in the world, which also owns the Mini Cooper and Rolls-Royce brands. But behind her brother, Stefan Quandt, who holds more than 23% of the company, Suzanne is only the second largest shareholder. Suzanne's commercial success is independent of the family's primary enterprise. Her attention has primarily been on Altana AG, a pharmaceutical firm that her grandfather started, and which she has helped to become a global leader. She continues to serve as chairman and the only shareholder of Altana AG, which purportedly generates sales of $2.5 million annually. Number 5, Lauren Powell Jobs, United States, $20.6 billion. Up to the death of her late husband, Steve Jobs, from cancer in 2011, Lorene preferred to remain in the shadow of her late spouse. His untimely passing at the age of 56 left Lorene with a high-profile money attached to her name, a fortune she had to manage while grieving over her husband's passing, taking on the role of sole parent for their children, and coping with the spotlight she would prefer to avoid. Unknown to many, Lorene has made a name for herself as a philanthropist. The Emerson Collective, a Silicon Valley, California-based nonprofit with an emphasis on social change advocacy, is one of her largest undertakings. The company was established in 2004 and ran quietly, so subtly in fact that not even one of her 10 new workers in 2010 knew who the Emerson was who owned the business. Today, Lorene's net worth may still mostly be based on the proceeds from her late husband's business, but she is also carving out a reputation for herself in philanthropy. Number 4, Jacqueline Mars, United States, $27 billion. As the heiress to Mars Incorporated, the largest confectionery company in the world, Jacqueline Mars truly enjoys the sweet life. She currently owns around a third of the business, the same percentage as her brother. In addition to being the heir to the well-known candy company, Mars is a prominent philanthropist and the owner of some of the best eventing horses in the country. Number 3, Mackenzie Scott, United States, $43.6 billion. Mackenzie Scott rose to the position of 4th richest woman in the world as a result of her divorce in 2019. She was married to Jeff Bezos and owned 4% of Amazon, her ex-husband's business. She is a philanthropist, novelist, and Forbes ranked her one of the most powerful women in the world in 2021. She is also one of Time's 100 most influential people of 2020 and the 2005 debut author of The Testing of Luther Albright, winner of the American Book Award. Scott is the creator and executive director of the anti-bullying group Bystander Revolution. One of the biggest private individuals who distributes working charities annually is her. In less than 2 years, she has given $12.5 billion to more than 1,250 organizations. Number 2, Alice Walton, United States, $46.4 billion. Although Sam Walton's youngest child and only daughter may not be as invested in the family business as her brothers, Rob and Jim, it doesn't mean she doesn't make money from it. In fact, she probably makes billions. Alice does have one thing for her, though. She is co-manager of Walton Enterprises, one of the family's holding firms that controls 50% of Walmart's largest retailer. The Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, which Alice founded in 2011 in her native Bentonville, Arkansas, and her own collection, which was estimated to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, are examples of her passion for art. Number 1, Francois Bettencourt Myers, France, $53.2 billion. Francois played a significant role in managing the family's wealth before she was recognized as the owner of the $107.5 billion share in L'Oreal, following her mother's passing in 2017 as the head of their own investment firm and the president of the Bettencourt Schuler Foundation. But it is not simple to step into her mother's shoes. Francois manages to hold her own as the top-ranked lady of this year's list and the richest woman in the world, despite the fact that the late Lillian Bettencourt held that title until the day of her death. Francois is not just the heir to the cosmetic tycoon's money, but she is also a skilled writer of Greek mythology works and the literature of a Jewish-Christian bent. So what do you think about our video? Let us know in the comment box below. Please like this video and subscribe to The Luxury Lord for future updates.